So effectively created two societies. That's the reality even to this day. And again, Professor Huang left. We both attending this conference. This is not my book, by the way. We attend a conference in Boston. Then we contribute articles on that topic. Probably you can take a look at about the gap between rural and urban sector of Chinese society. So that's this kind of transition from rural-urban continuum, which lasts in China for more than 2,000 years at least, to more recently, starting from 19th century, they have gradually had Chinese has a sense of urban superiority, which has, again, is very much import from the West. Right? And let me give you one example to see the difference between sort of East and West in terms regarding cities. Right? The English term civilization, we all know civilization in Chinese means, what's the translation?文明, right? But the English term civilization has a Latin roots called civitas. And civitas means city. So in the Western tradition, civilization starts from city. While in the Chinese term, 文明 start from, 文明 we know is start from language, literal language. Literally means, oracle bone writing, 甲骨文. When I say Chinese history had 4,000 years, not 5,000, we sort of both the same, we have 5,000 years. In terms of written history, start from 甲骨文, or in English we call oracle bone writing, it's even less than 4,000 years. But anyway, the notion is that civilization starts from writing, not from city. But this situation, of course, changed, as I said, after Opium War, after Communist Revolution, and the Communist Revolution effectively created a two society in one country. But after Deng Xiaoping's reform, this situation changed again. Let me give some statistics. According to China's Geographic Society and also the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences in Beijing, that in the late 1970s, the percentage of people live in the city and the towns is about 17.9, it's less than 18%. Right? Today, the percentage of people living in the city is about 47. Right? So which means in about 30 years, China's urbanization increasing was percentage, more than 20%, more than double of the late 1917 figure. Right? And this is phenomenal because it took British about 120 years to achieve that, and it took United States about 80 years to do that. And it took Japan. Japan is very fast growing after major restoration. It took Japan nearly 40 years to achieve that. So definitely China has a faster growing urbanization rate so far. And the plan is that in another 20, 30 years, we will probably reach to 60% urbanization rate. According to China's Development and Reform Office, which set up a sort of conservative goal for China's urbanization. The goal is in the year 2050, the urbanization rate in China will be about 67%, I think. So what does that mean? For each 1% increase of urbanization, involve at least 10 million people move to the city. Right? And these people move city, of course, if at that rate, in another 20 or 30 years, we have 200 to 300 million people move to the city. Right now, the percentage is 47, but this year, or end of 2010, it's still below world average. The urbanization, urban population in world average is about 53, around that rate. So China is still below that. Right? But in 10, 15 years, China will definitely above world average. One project is in 2013, which is 2 years from now, we will pass this critical 50% mark, which means more people live in cities than in the countryside. So this will have both positive and negative impact on Chinese society. Let's see first a little bit positive impact. Of course, we all know that when you have huge amount of people migrate to the city, which means they, number one, provide laborers. All these highlights in Shanghai, in Shenzhen, in Beijing, where those were called 农民工, they did that, right? And now they also live in the city very much on long-term, if not permanent basis. Right? So they will need housing, they were consumers themselves. Right? This will definitely push the economy